Good day, everyone. So now we will proceed for the topic about the cognition development. But first, let us define the following terms. First, we have the cognition. Cognition refers to the mental processes and activities related to acquiring, processing, storing, and using information. It encompasses a wide range of mental functions, including perception, memory, problem-solving, reasoning, decision-making, and language comprehension. And also, cognition is a fundamental aspect of human intelligence and involves the brain's complex mechanism for understanding and interacting with the world. Next, we have the metacognition. Metacognition is the ability to think about and have awareness of one's own cognitive processes. It involves monitoring and understanding how you think, learn, and problem solve. In essence, it's thinking about your thinking. The higher level cognitive skills allows individuals to assess their own knowledge, plan strategies for learning or problem solving, and make decisions about how to approach tasks based on their understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses in their cognitive abilities. Schema. A schema is a mental framework or organized structure that helps individuals make sense and interpret information and experiences. It's cognitive concept that helps people categorize and understand new information by relating it to existing knowledge or experiences. Assimilation. Assimilation in the context of cognitive development and Jean Piaget's theory is the process by which individuals incorporate new information or experiences into their existing mental schemas or cognitive structures. See in the picture. Accommodation. Accommodation in the context of cognitive development and Jean Piaget's theory is the process of modifying existing mental schemas or cognitive structures to incorporate new information of experiences that cannot be assimilated. Example, when individuals encounter information or experiences that do not fit into their existing schemas, they must adjust or accommodate their mental frameworks to accommodate this new information. Equilibration. It is a concept often used in psychology and cognitive development theory, notably by Jean Piaget. It refers to the process of achieving a balanced equilibrium between existing knowledge and new experiences or information. It also involves adapting developmental structures and understanding to accommodate new information and allowing cognitive growth and learning. Object permanence. Object permanence is a fundamental concept in developmental psychology, particularly associated with Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It refers to a child's understanding that objects continue to exist even when they are out of sight or no longer perceptually available. In other words, it's the realization that objects have a permanent existence independent of one's immediate sensory experience. This understanding typically develops in infants around the age of 6 to 8 months, marking an important milestone in their cognitive development. Symbolic function in Piagetian theory, the cognitive ability to mentally represent objects that are not in sight. For example, a child playing with a toy can mentally picture and experience the toy even after it has been taken away and he or she can no longer see it. Egocentrism is a cognitive bias or psychological phenomenon where an individual tends to view the world primarily from their own perspective. It involves difficulty in understanding or empathizing with the perspectives and feelings of others. Example, egocentric individuals often assume that others see, think, and feel the same way they do, leading to self-centered and a limited ability to consider alternative viewpoints. Centration in the context of development theory of cognitive development. Irreversibility refers to a child's inability to mentally undo an action or operation. It means that a child at a certain stage of cognitive development cannot grasp the idea that certain transformations can be reversed to their original state. Animism. Animism is a belief system or philosophical concept that attributes consciousness, spirit, or souls to various elements of the natural world, such as animals, plants, rocks, rivers, and even inanimate objects. In animistic belief system, these entities are thought to possess their own unique spiritual or sentient qualities. Transductive reasoning is a cognitive tendency observed in young children that involves drawing conclusions based on specific instances without understanding broader principles. While decentering is a cognitive development process that occurs as children move from the pre-operational stage and concrete operational stage, enabling them to consider multiple aspects and viewpoints in their thinking. Reversibility refers to the ability of a child to understand that certain actions or operations can be reversed to return to their original state. It is a key concept, particularly in the concrete operational stage of development, which typically occurs between ages 7 and 11. Conservation in the context of developmental psychology, it refers to the understanding that certain properties of an object or substance remain the same even when its physical appearance or arrangement changes. Serration is a concept commonly used in various fields including archaeology, developmental psychology, and statistics. Its meaning can vary slightly depending on the context: archaeology, developmental psychology, and statistics. Hypothetical reasoning, also known as hypothetical thinking or deductive reasoning, is a cognitive process of drawing conclusions or making predictions based on hypothetical or conditional statements, often using logical deduction. Analogical reasoning is a cognitive process that involves drawing comparisons and finding similarities between two or more situations, objects, concepts, or ideas. Example given in the picture. Deductive reasoning is a type of logical thinking that involves drawing specific conclusions from general premises or statements. So those are the terms that are part of cognitive development and very important, especially in the study of theory of Jean Piaget. Now we will proceed to the main essence of the following cognitive developmental theories. First, we have the Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory. So what is the important aspect of Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory? So the Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory is a significant framework in the field of developmental psychology that explores how children's thinking processes evolve as they grow. So we have the four stages of Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory. First, we have the stages of development, which includes the adolescence, early childhood, early adulthood, late adulthood, infancy, and toddlerhood. We have also the infant, toddler, adult, pre-operational stage, or middle age, young adult, sensory motor stage, adolescence, and emerging adulthood. Number 2, assimilation. Next, we have the egocentrism, and 4 is the object permanence. Next, we have the Lev-Vygotsky social cultural cognitive theory. Vygotsky's theory places importance on guiding children's learning through their interaction with more knowledgeable other. The more knowledgeable other could be anyone with a greater understanding of the task or concept that the child is trying to complete or learn. We have the four terms to define. Socialization. Socialization is a lifelong process through which individuals, typically starting from childhood, learn and internalize the values, beliefs, customs, norms, behaviors, and social roles of their culture and society. It is a fundamental aspect of human development and involves acquisition of the knowledge and skills needed to function effectively within a particular social group. 2. Interaction. Interaction refers to the exchange, communication, or engagement between two or more individuals, objects, or entities. It involves the mutual influence, connection, or relationship that occurs when these elements come into contact with each other. 3. Scaffolding. Scaffolding in the context of education and cognitive development refers to a teaching and learning technique where a more knowledgeable person provides structured support and guidance to a learner as they work to acquire new skills or knowledge. 4. We have the MKO, or stands for More Knowledgeable Other. This concept is an important component of social cultural theory in the field of education and cognitive development, notably developed by the psychologist Lev Vygotsky. 5. Fade-away technique. The fade-away technique is not widely recognized or standard term in education or psychology. It's possible that the term is used in a specific context or by a particular group, but it doesn't have a well-established definition in the broader field. What is the important aspect of Lev Vygotsky's social cultural cognitive theory? Lev Vygotsky, a prominent psychologist, is best known for his socio-cultural theory of cognitive development. Several important aspects of Vygotsky's theories are zone of proximal development or ZPD, social interaction, cultural tools, cultural and historical context, private speech, scaffolding, and cultural historical activity theory.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Norina Bello, and my topic is all about the general concept of intelligence as presented by Alfred and Simon Binet. Binet defined intelligence as the components of intelligence, a reasoning, judgment, memory, and the power of abstraction. He measured intelligence as general mental ability of individuals' intelligence behaviors. He described intelligence testing as classifying, not measuring. The next topic is all about the concept of mental age versus chronological age. Mental age is related to intelligence and the learning cohesion, while chronological age is the number of years that have passed since birth. So the next topic is all about the main concept of Charles Spearman's general intelligence theory. Spearman's theory of general intelligence is known as the two-factor theory and states that general intelligence, or G, is correlated with specific abilities, or S, to some degree. All tasks on intelligence tests, whether related to verbal or mathematical abilities, were influenced by this underlying G factor. Spearman's specific factor. The first one is the G factor. General ability is involved in every general mental ability task of the person. The second one is the S factor. Specific ability is responsible for only the specific intellectual abilities of the person. The next topic is all about the main idea of Louis Leon Thurstone's theory of intelligence, factor analysis. Louis Leon Thurstone proposed theory in 1930s that intelligence is composed of several different factors. The 7 primary mental abilities in Thurstone's model were verbal comprehension, word fluency, number facility, spatial visualization, associative memory, perceptual speed, and reasoning. So these are the 7 primary mental abilities of Thurstones. The first one is word fluency, ability to use words quickly and fluency in performing such tasks as rhyming, solving anagrams, and doing crossword puzzle. The next one is verbal comprehension, ability to understand the meaning of words, concepts, and ideas. The next one is numerical ability, ability to use numbers too quickly to compute answers to problems. The next one is perceptual speed, ability to grasp perceptual details quickly and accurately and to determine similarities and differences between stimuli. The next one is memory, ability to recall information such as lists of words, mathematical formulas, and definitions. And the last one is inductive reasoning, ability to derive general rules and principles from the press. The next topic is all about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence. So according to Howard Gardner's, multiple intelligence refers to a theory describing the different ways students learn and acquire information. This multiple intelligence range from the use of words, numbers, pictures, and music to the importance of social interactions, introspection, physical movement, and being in tune with nature. So these are the 9 multiple intelligence as presented by Howard Gardner. The first one is naturalistic intelligence. Have you noticed how some people can make anything grow? It's as if they have a green thumb. Others connect with animals easily, and some are completely at home in nature. Naturalistic intelligence describes people who are sensitive to the natural world. The next one is musical intelligence. Not everyone has green thumbs and a love for the great outdoors. Instead, some people are naturally drawn towards music. People with musical intelligence are generally more sensitive to sound and often pick up on noises that others would not normally be aware of. The next one is logical, mathematical intelligence of all types of intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence is the most similar to what we typically associate with general intelligence. People with this type of intelligence are excellent at maths and working with numbers. The next one is existential intelligence. While many of us are happy with going about our lives day by day, people with high levels of existential intelligence often think more deeply about daily occurrences. The next one is interpersonal intelligence. Do you have a natural ability to get on well with others? Are you good at reading people and social situations? If this is the case, chances that you have a high level of interpersonal intelligence. The next one is linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence is the type of intelligence that is most commonly shared by humans. It involves our ability to think in words and use these words to make oneself understood. The next one is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. People high in bodily kinesthetic intelligence have an excellent sense of timing and a great mind-body coordination, as well as the fine and gross motor skills. The next one is intrapersonal intelligence. Do you understand your thoughts, feelings, and emotions? And are you able to use this understanding in your everyday life? If this is the case, you probably have high intrapersonal intelligence. And the last one is spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence is defined as the ability to consider things in three dimensions. People with high spatial intelligence are generally very creative and usually have a vivid imagination, high artistic ability, and excellent spatial reasoning. The next topic is all about the three components of hierarchy theory of intelligence as presented by Robert Sternberg. The first one is practical intelligence. Sternberg called one's ability to successfully interact with the everyday world practical intelligence. Practical intelligence is related to the contextual subtheory. Practically intelligent people are especially adept at behaving in successful ways in their external environment. The next one is creative intelligence. The experimental is related to creative intelligence, which is one's ability to use existing knowledge to create new ways to handle new problems or cope in new situations. The last one is analytical intelligence. The componential subtheory is related to analytical intelligence, which is essentially academic intelligence. Analytical intelligence is used to solve problems and is the kind of intelligence that is measured by a standard IQ test. So let's move on to the next topic, which is the main idea of Atkinson-Shiprin's cognitive information processing theory. Atkinson and Richard Shiffrin in 1968, these two proposed a multi-stage theory of memory. They explain that from the time information is received by the processing system, it goes through different stages to be fully stored. They broke this down to sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Atkinson. So let's talk about the three stages of memory processing of Richard Atkinson and Richard Shiffrin. The first one is sensory memory. In the Atkinson-Shiffrin model, stimuli from the environment are processed first in sensory memory. Storage of brief sensory events such as sights, sounds, and tastes. It is very brief storage, up to a couple of seconds. We are constantly bombarded with sensory information. The next one is short-term. Memory is a temporary storage system that processes incoming sensory memory. Sometimes it is called working memory. Short-term memory takes information from sensory memory and sometimes connects that memory to something already in long-term memory. Short-term memory storage lasts about 20 seconds. The last one is long-term memory. Long-term memory is the continuous storage of information. Unlike short-term memory, storage capacity of long-term memory has no limits.
So there are 5 factors affecting cognitive development. The first one is environment. Environment has a vital role in affecting the cognitive development of an individual. It influences the mind of children because of the environment they are in. Number 2 factors is home environment. Home environment is also one factor affecting cognitive development because if an individual is early exposed in a home wherein he or she experiences a new learning, it will help him or her have a faster cognitive development. Number 3 factor, socioeconomic status. This factor will also affect an individual's cognitive development based from their socioeconomic class because socioeconomic class is divided into 3 groups, which are high class, middle class, and lower class. And based from this social status, your cognitive development will be affected. Number 4 is heredity. Heredity refers to the changes of physical, emotional, cognitive, and other characteristics that the parents have to their children. Heredity will determine whether an individual is ready and mature to develop cognitive skills. The last but not the least is nutrition. Nutrition is also important in developing an individual's cognitive development to ensure the balanced and nutritious food that we are eating in order to acquire the cognitive development that we want. So now, let's move forward to language development. Language development is the process through which children acquire the ability to process speech and communication. In the next slide, I will show you the language pyramid. So, this is the language pyramid. Pardon with the picture because I was not able to download the video because of my phone storage. Fortunately, this picture shows how language development is being processed. Now, let's move forward to the different language of development theories. So first is Daniel Everett's theory. Language scratches the communicative itch. Picking up and using language is something. Inventing it from scratch is a whole another thing. Number 2 is Chomsky's nativist linguistic theory. Central to Chomsky's nativist theory is the idea that all languages inherently have a universal grammar. The nativist theory proposes that instead of memorizing a series of phrases and maxims, children understand language structures and rules that they use to create their own word sequences. Number 3 is B.F. Skinner's behavior theory. Learning theory states that a person is exposed to a stimulus which evokes a response, and then the response is reinforced. This finally leads to the human behavior condition. Number 4 is Vygotsky's social interaction theory. Theory about child development says that cognitive development occurs as a result of social interactions. In this way, learning is innately collaborative. He believes social negotiation was essential for building knowledge and understanding concepts. The last but not the least is Piaget's constructivist theory. Piaget's theory of constructivism argues that people produce knowledge and form meaning based upon their experiences. Piaget's theory covered learning theories, teaching methods, and education reform.